remember, he's upset. He wants to get himself. Mac tries to drive in on top. Brad extends his torso up. And it's what we call a triangle press. You see how his knees are in the form of a triangle? Violence destroys. Weaponizing is the counter strategies to violent criminal assault. Hey, I'm Greg LaBeouf, aka The Violence Guy, and I'm sharing with you how I went from the victim of a brutal attempted murder to mastering the tool of violence and protecting myself and family, and how you can do the same from the safety and comfort of your own home. Welcome to Weaponizing DIY. Now, what happens if the guy gets really stiff? So slide back to stage one for me. Now they're in stage one, and now here's the thing. Mac wants to hit him so bad, but what he starts to do is he starts to push into him, but he starts to sit up. So now when he starts to sit up, Brad doesn't want to actually come off the ground with him. So hug up really tight, and Mac, lift him up for me. We tend to want to avoid this, and you probably know why. If Mac's way heavier and stronger and he decides to slam him back down on the concrete, boom, that's going to hurt. Okay, and remember, our ultimate goal is to get this guy off us, so we want to manage this distance. So, wrap up nice and tight, stage one. If Mac goes to sit up, Brad feels himself. So look at the indicator. The indicator was Mac's hands stopped trying to punch, and they went to the ground. And when that happens, Brad's actually going to release. He's going to let him sit up. He's going to open up some distance between them. But before Mac can hit, he's going to unlock his legs, and he's going to bring his knees into the chest. So now he's got his knees in between him. His legs are kind of pigeoned out on either side of it. And now watch what happens is Mac, remember, he's upset. He wants to get himself. Mac tries to drive in on top. Brad extends his torso up. And it's what we call a triangle press. You see how his knees are in the form of a triangle? And he presses out. Now the more Mac presses in, what that'll do is just start scooting Brad away from him, but try to reach. Notice how he can't reach the head. Now let's say this guy's super heavy and Brad's like, holy shit, this guy's got so much weight on me. He opens the legs up and he drops him and pulls him right back into a stage one. That's the flow of this. You see, it's not Brad, who is smaller, not as heavy. It's not him pushing and trying to manipulate the bigger guy. It's him feeling what he's trying to do with his energy and responding into that. So we have three stages here. One, he tries to hit. Brad's got him in a full stage one. Okay, arms on top, smothering, knees tight, no space. Mac feels one little tiny hole down by the ribs. He tries to go for it. Brad guides it, wedges it against his own shin, pulls tight on the back of the elbow. Then all of a sudden Mac starts trying to sit up and create space or lift Brad. Brad pulls his knees in. Mac's trying to reach and drive weight in, can't do it. Now, Mac really wants to get him, so he stands up to his feet. And the second he stands up to his feet, Brad switches to stage four, which is just what we call putting on the seatbelt. He takes his toes pointed to the outside, gets his feet on the hips. So now Mac's trying to lean in to punch. Okay, now remember some of this. If Mac kind of just took his energy away, went back off him, see how Brad dropped right into the pop-up position? He didn't try to keep the feet on him. The only time that works is when the guy is obsessed with trying to reach in and hit you. So come back in and try to reach in and hit. Let him put the seatbelt back on you. Boom, boom. So right from here. Now he's leaned over trying to hit. Again, if he got really heavy, Brad opens up and lets him fall right back into stage one punch block series. Okay, is everybody seeing that? So let's just go through it. Punch, start from up, release. I'm going to have them flow very slowly. So Mac sits up. Brad wraps him in a guard as Mac tries to hit, pulls him in, nice stage one. Okay, now Mac finds a little vulnerability, goes to hit him in the ribs. Brad releases, uses his arm, guides it, catches it on the shin. Now, one little thing here. Make sure your arm is on the outside of your leg. Reverse this for me. This isn't going to work, right? Because you have nothing to hold his arm to your leg. Mac, move your arm. See how he slips off it? So if you're feeling that or you're having trouble with that, your arm's got to be on the outside, your leg on the inside, and then no space between arm and leg. Wedge it tight. Okay, that's what we're looking for. That's stage two. Now Mac goes to drive energy in or goes to sit up a little bit, and Brad releases and gets into a triangle press. Pushes him up. Mac gets pushed back a bit, goes to stand all the way up, thinking he'll get more reach. Brad goes in and puts the feet into the hips. Not up on the chest, not down on the legs, right across on the hips. Okay, if Mac steps back off that to try to wipe the legs, whatever, Brad drops, falls into a perfect pop-up position, leg nice and straight, elbow tucked in, ready to kick nice and low to knee, shin, or thigh. or growing if he stood straight, not up to the head. Go to the head. That's easier for Mac to grab it or to throw it and manipulate the body and come driving in off it.